SANDBOX found their game and extended this series to game number 3. Unlike game number 3, it was even slower.
네, 어떻게 보면은 픽은 또
However, in the draft, we also saw another Orn going over to Kiin. However, this time, SANDBOX wanted to say we were not wrong. They this time managed to show why they opened Orn. Seth was always following Orn on side lanes, and also they took a very OP bot lane comp, MFM Morgana, so they were keep snowballing throughout the lane priority. Well, Orn managed to have some good team fights, however, with the Morgana Q very effectively finding Kiin, SANDBOX was able to gain a huge momentum. So, waiting till the final pick coming in from SANDBOX, they were expecting Azir versus Corki again. However, Dove went with Echo. Maybe more like a confident pick, so it was really impressive. However, we had a very late first blood. So let's check out the mid lane fight. Well, after the draft, Wadid actually thought they got a really nice comp, so they could not win a team fight on this comp. However, SANDBOX players overcame this kind of gap with their mechanics. They were so focused during this fight. Well, actually, Echo was the only player with TP, so with that TP priority, SANDBOX was able to have more players on this fight, so they had to wait for Azir to join the fight, and also at the same time, Onflick was having a very stylish fight over there, and then going in with EQ, knocked up Orn, and then queued out, and then found another airborne. So there were a lot of mistakes trading. However, Mystic could survive out of the fight with flash and ult. However, Summit also overextended under the Azir's turret, but in the end, SANDBOX was the more focused side. And in the following team fight, SANDBOX got a very huge momentum. Gorilla was so focused at this point. When as soon as he saw Rakan, he captured him coming in, so he reacted really fast. Leo was safe under the black shield, and also Jelly could not find anyone with the knockup, so SANDBOX was in a better position for this team fight. So maybe it could be a very huge chain CC coming in from Afreeca, Rakan airborne, and then followed by the Orn's ult. However, Afreeca players was not having a great teamwork at that point. Also, what did you want to comment about Morgana's rune choice? Morgana always has to find a very strong laning phase. So some of the players go with the Guardian. However, Gorilla wanted to say something like, I'm still really powerful. So he went with Comment, which is really aggressive and also lane-focused choice. So he was keep pushing lane and doing a lot of damage to the opponent players on bot lane. Then let's check out the player of the game for game number 2. Dove TP'd in with Echo to the studio. Echo was a very impressive pick indeed. Instead of going for the typical Corki versus Azir matchup, Dove was a little bit more decisive, picking up his mid lane champion. Well, it is actually true. After the laning phase, well, Echo has a better matchup. However, he did have a very hard laning phase. He got ganked for several times, and also he was having a lot of pressure also from the bot lane roam. However, he managed to pull it off really well. Well, however, a lot of people voted for different laners as well and roles. One of our English casters
그래도 진짜 고릴라 선수가
made the champion
많은
for this
활약을
player of the
해주었지만
game,
또 도움은
but
딜을 또
maybe
안
this
넣으면
side votes also
서포터가
mean
뭐
that
아무리
all
잘하고
5
잘못
players
들어가야
coming
딜을
out of
속박을
SANDBOX
한들
Gaming
그렇죠.
were
넣어야죠.
performing great.
인정하시죠?
인정하겠습니다.
네. 다음으로 아프리카 샌드박스의
Let's check out
3세트 경기
decider
지금부터
match.
시작합니다.
SANDBOX versus Afreeca.
Thank you, G-Sun, once again, as LS was the one to vote for the Echo. Did you see that last fight where he was literally just standing on the side and kill stealing?
Listen.
Great player of the game, by the way. Gotta love it. But, by the way, he won player of the game with 4 votes. Has that ever happened before? 4 votes because it was
Is that the lowest
so
that you
divided.
Can win with? No, you can win with 3.
Yeah.
Can you win with 2? I guess
no, you
wait.
can't. No, there's not enough.
No, there's not enough people,
rolls to vote
yeah.
for.
Yeah. Well, no, you can win with 2, and then the tiebreaker, the referee tiebreaks it.
So you can win with 2 with the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If there was like 2-2 and then
because if it's 6 and 6,
1-1-1,
one of the refs votes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. If there's any kind of tie, then one of the refs.
So
have
if
to be
everyone
broken.
has 2, and then 1 and 1. No, wait, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
you would have to have
can't-
like a 3-way tie or something.
Yeah, you'd have. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But
All right.
yeah.
We are coming in to game number 3 here, and will we finally see some... Take it away, Valdez.
Soraka first banned on blue again, as nobody seems comfortable with a first picker, at least in this series. You'll notice that both SANDBOX on blue in game 1 and Afreeca on game in blue 2, they both banned Soraka first. Soraka banned first again here in game 3. No Aphelios banned just yet, so that's the difference maker so far.
Now, you ready for this? So, SANDBOX has shown an unwillingness to pick Ornn, and so Afreeca is going to ban Zed. They concluded that was the problem from the previous 2 games, and then SANDBOX will forego the Ornn pick. And then Afreeca
pick
gets
what,
the
MF?
Ornn. So, yeah, they're going to B1 MF, of course.
Yeah, well, let's see if Afreeca calls their bluff and says, you're not going to play Ornn. No reason for us to ban it. We'll just ban Jarvan.
All right, so now we're going to have a B1 set.
B1 set, and then you
Now
get
we're gonna
Ornn
have,
MF.
Hold on, yeah. Valdez, you're really
I
taking away my
had
thunder.
to get the
You're really
obvious one
taking
in
it away
before
from
you
me
did.
right now.
This is my only chance. And they
All
lock
right.
it in to the surprise
All
of
right, Ornn MF.
nobody.
Now, let's have B2, B3 Zyra Khan. Oh! Calista Thresh.
You better hope he doesn't change that.
Into R3 Morgana.
Thresh.
Just get me out. I need to go to the bathroom.
Hey, if it's like game 1, we'll have Elise come in. By the way, Spirit's in again. Dread played game number 2 on the Lee Sin. Thresh currently 5 and 10.
R3 Morgana.
I just want to see him pick Elise, so you just
Or Blitzcrank.
so you blow. What is it? You gotta pick something.
What?
Okay,
They threw us a little bit of a curveball here.
there you go.
I had
You
to
made it.
account for it, but Olaf now getting banned away.
Olaf. GP. They do not want to deal with GP. Even though the set did a really nice job against the GP.
Rek'Sai now banned away as well, and so maybe SANDBOX banned Oh no, Jarvan's already banned. Wait a second. What is going on here? I maybe they are for Lee Sin?
You can see Gorilla typing in the champion name for what he wants to ban. And it's Echo.
And now Spirit's going to have to decide what he wants to play. Now, He could go Karthus. But if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that he comes in on R5, which puts you in a very awkward position.
Well, I suppose they liked the Elise from game number 1 for some reason. I mean, she did get a couple of ganks off, but I think in game 3, you can't expect the same results, you know? I think Summit is going to play a lot smarter. I think Dove will as well. And so I believe that Elise will have a lot less power in the game, as now they're going to pick up Sejuani. Don't see too much Sejuani, but has a winning ratio so far.
There's Victor. So now we'll have to see what Afreeca is going to pick into it, as a lot of the traditional champions are not available. Honestly, if they pick something like Renekton here... I was kidding!
You shouldn't have said the name! Why did you summon him? It's all your fault!
I'm saying it unironically because I know that it's coming, and it's just so terrible.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Now, where is he going to go? Is he just going to go up in the top side? You'd have to imagine up against the set. The Ornn can handle the lane against the Victor. I can't believe you did this, LS. Why did you have to summon him?
It's so rudimentary. That's ultimately what it is. You have the Elise, and then you think to yourself, oh, okay, I'm going to pick up a Renekton. I have Elise. There's no... Everything that involves team composition, synergy with each other at certain breakpoints inside of the game, how it's going to work against the opponents, all of that just goes out the window. And so now you have an Ornn paired with 2 champions that he doesn't like. You have a Blitzcrank that is trying to fight fire with fire. But interestingly enough, the Kalista has a lot of value against Afreeca's engage in the later stages. The Victor is actually particularly good, as is the Sejuani. You gave Set 2 targets now against you. And so in a very weird way, SANDBOX started off the draft losing really hard, and then Afreeca punt it right back to them with their R4 and R5 picks. We got a game on our hands.
Yeah, the pen went flying. But, I don't know. I think it does come down to, once again, you know, the rudimentary idea, 1 + 1 = 2. If you have a 1, what do you need to equal 2? It's a Renekton. I hope you guys followed that. That's kind of what they're going with, and maybe, again, it's just comfort for Spirit. Maybe he just didn't feel comfortable playing the Karthus there, and he says, well, I feel good on Elise. Give it to me, and we'll make it work. We'll see if they can, as they are going to be going for a little bit of a early play here. SANDBOX down on the bottom side of the map.
Valdez, I thought you said that you were American.
Yes, of course.
How did you get the 1 + 1 = 2 so fast?
I don't know. Someone actually told me on Twitter, so I wanted to use it in my next cast. Because I wasn't sure about the answer, so I was embarrassed about talking about it before.
Yeah.
So, you know, I figured I'd bring it out now.
Makes sense. Well, doesn't look like we're actually going to get any sort of early aggression. And everything else is honestly pretty standard.
I love how Nimbus Cloak is now extremely standard.
Yes. Super insane value.
Victor doesn't pick it up. He picks up the Mana Flow Band.
Yeah.
Instead.
Well, because he has the teleport and flash, so.
And he has phase
Mana
rush,
Flow,
so.
yeah. Mana Flow gonna be very good here against T1. He's able to stack it extremely quickly.
Yeah. It'll improve his sustain and allow him to stick around in the mid lane for a bit longer. Like the choice there. Keen picks up that Renekton, says, hey, Renekton's good into the set, and I have an Elise. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3.
You are honestly impressing.
See what I'm doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm building it up.
Wow.
As I learn. And
is in the chat right now.
Alice?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
He must be. He's listening.
has to be,
and
yeah.
he is so impressed this morning.
Yeah, I know. His
But-
little NA friends.
Yeah.
Slowly learning their math.
All right.
And there is going to be pressure on Keen to try to win that lane hard.
Whoa.
Once again, this is going to happen here where Dove gets knocked up, but a lot of minion damage goes back onto Fly.
And Keen, you know what, though? This time around, he looks like he's having a much better time. He did just lose 2 lanes in a row to Summit. Finding himself in an advantage here. He could just shove this wave and recall into Call. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Elise coming over to try to get a gank. And the only way that this works is if Summit ends up making a mistake. Haymaker up in 2 seconds. And you can see On Fleek is on time.
Spotted,
Oh.
okay.
Kevin Tuggles.
Okay, he's going to engage here onto the Sejuani. Win that trade. Meanwhile, up in the top side, Keen takes what looks like a losing trade at the end of it all. Has to meekly just back off of that one. Is going into the jungle. And On Fleek says, well, I don't want any of that noise. It's Elise Renekton, and if I get stunned or found at all, if I face check, I can die instantly, so I have to back away. It's the safe play.
Well, after that little debacle happening right there, Victor going to try to maybe establish lane priority. Sejuani is running to left side Scuttle Crab, which is so bizarre. You have to know that it's gone. What?
Spirit ends up kind of face-checking himself. He's going to go into the repel. He's got Dove on top of him, forced to flash away by getting a little bit too aggressive. Miss knock up there. Fly is a little bit slow. All the wards coming out here. Oh, considering going back in. They don't really have too much vision, but really hanging around. And at the end of the day, they will just disengage.
And not too much really going on. Elise now just going to go over to her Krug. Sejuani trying to make her way top lane to maybe try to do a dive.
It's just like the never-ending camp.
What the hell was that?
Well, now they're going to try to get on in there. They dodge that cocoon by a block with the On Fleek on the Sejuani. He doesn't really have the damage. They have the minions, but they have to flash away. Spirit's still on the chase here. 1Q is going to do it. If he can land it. Oh, the shield, and it is not going to be enough. Spirit not able to collapse and get that kill. So they will hard push, teleport down.
You know that image, Are You Not Entertained?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
Oh, they're sticking around. Keen is going for it. Did he get baited into this? No, he's going to pick up first blood and get out just like that. Keen is back, and so is Spirit. The two of them able to put their opposing positions in the dumpster underneath the turret. 1 by 1.
And this is a really big victory
Couple
for
of solo
Afreeca.
kills.
Yeah, because we take a look at this on Fleek. You can see Summit ends up locking up Keen, but then is Keen able to get the reset, break the turret aggro? And this is just a complete disaster right now. Yeah, stop. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what he
Stop.
said. He's like, hey, stop. I don't know what that was really in reference to.
Maybe he really didn't want to go for that play, but Keen was forcing it. And that really was a close call.
It was.
So, Spirit now
Well played,
finds
though.
himself up an entire level, despite only being up 1 camp. Now he's about to be up 2. And also in top lane, Summit is in a nightmare situation where Keen has the Phage completed, has the refillable, Doran's Blade and Doran's Shield. Wave down in bottom is pushing away from Leo and Gorilla, so this is a very good gank timing. We talked about this in the previous game. When you want to make a gank happen, you want to pressure the enemy laner, you need to manipulate or have your lane state be favorable for them as your jungler arrives.
All right,
And that's
Galileo.
the minigame. What? Valdez,
You know the Earth, the sun revolves around the Earth, okay? You should know this. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, my apologies.
Everybody knows this. It's common knowledge. Ping-ponging is the way that we do things around here, okay?
Well,
no manipulation. That sounds negative.
definitely. I mean, I'm not buying it. You know.
Okay.
You can try to tell me whatever you want, but not buying it. As Mountain Dragon was picked up for the team with Ornn.
I don't know about this Summit.
Summit, yeah.
That's not a trade you want to take.
Losing a bit more HP, and this is the game where Afreeca is finding advantages in top lane, and so this is going to be very good for them. The Sejuani is still just so stunted. Very far behind.
Ooh. We have a GP coming in from top, or rather from mid. Ornn should be immediate. As he is going to be suplexed and locked down. Actually hits on Fleek in the back. That's kind of funny. That's probably how they feel right now. It's getting dunked on. As the teleport looked kind of silly, but it was actually 200 IQ. Gets in there, sets up the kill. The Victor not able to push fast enough right now. They get a couple of plates.
Yeah, they have 2 plates up there in top lane. What is about to be more than a 20 CS lead, I believe. For Keen, this Renekton is very, very big. And Fly getting that assist up there in top lane. He really didn't lose all that much. He's only down 5 CS right now in mid lane. Almost has the Abyssal Mask complete. Rift Herald being picked up by Spirit. As we just take a look at this. Again, Summit is trading on Keen for no reason. He can never win, nor can he sustain through these trades with any purpose. So, doesn't make any sense. Fly comes in, teleports.
You know that suplex actually just makes it so easy for that to land? But I suppose he just felt a bit desperate because it shows exactly where you're going to land. It's like, oh, okay, I can just hit the Ornn horn in this direction. Very simple for Fly to follow up on that one. And these are the kind of Elise Renekton games where you look at the results and you're like, hey, I mean, you have to know that these pro gamers after this game, they're going to be like, man, so happy we were able to win that draft with Elise Renekton. R4, R5, able to come in here, shut them down in the top lane, and that's why we won.
Well,
you just know that's coming, but if you can outplay your opponents like this, and the enemies kind of keep tilt trading into you is what it looks like, then for sure you are going to have some success.
So, at this stage of the game, Spirit and Keen really looking to just try to keep bullying Summit. And it really does also feel like that in the games where Summit does fall behind, SANDBOX falls apart a lot faster than normal. He is really their strongest member. And interestingly, he is on the defensive right now.
Yeah, you saw Spirit coming in.
Now, the thing is that they know about Spirit, so if this gank does manage to work...
That's a real gank, man. That's a gonk.
Is it a gonk? Is
yeah,
it
it's
the
gonk
gonk market?
Oh! This is not looking good. Spirit in a little bit of trouble here. See if he can get locked down. The repel over the other side. Okay, they finally make it happen. As a trade in the mid lane, Dove is going to have to flash this wall straight into it. Predicted. To be fair, it was a pretty easy prediction, but nicely done from the side of Fly. Knew he was going to flash the wall. Shuts him down.
That was a really good Mad Life play right there by Fly. There was other areas that he could end up flashing to.
But he would have to, you know, one-up him, right?
Yeah.
He would say, you're going to do it over the wall, so I'm going to flash forward, right? And then go that way.
And Afreeca, okay.
Okay, you might have pushed a little bit too far. That's a big bullet time. From the backside, though, Afreeca in a lot of trouble. Down will go Jelly, a double kill now. But here's Big Boy Keen trying to get on top of that Kalista, and the Spiders are going to hop forward and get that kill. At the end of the day, nice stun up there from the freeze from Sejuani to save him, but Keen going so deep. Can he actually do it? He can't kill him in the end, going 1v4. Bit off way too more than he could chew.
And so the game just keeps swinging back and forth now between SANDBOX and Afreeca. As, let's take a look at this one more time. So Fly, he's strutting his stuff. He's waddling like Wario up to top lane. And then he
really is like Mario. Now we know where the inspiration came from.
And then look at this. He manages to land the Mad Life onto Victor. I really thought Victor was just going to wait for the hit and then flash. But right here, Afreeca, they're overstaying their welcome for turret plates that they end up sharing the gold on. And so it's a very easy counter collapse by SANDBOX, and we did not get to see the whole.
No, we didn't get to see the Keen fail, unfortunately. It's a big Renekton. Won the lane hard, got a couple of kills, couple of assists. And just went a little bit too far there. Okay, we're going to pick up Cloud Drake here. What's it going to be? Infernal or Ocean Soul are the options. It looks like
Ocean.
You know that song Ocean Man?
I know Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish.
Billie Eyelash?
Yeah. It's Billie Eilish, but I thought I would add an Aatrox spin on
yeah,
to it.
that's an LS thing
Yeah.
right there. Okay, now we're going to get to see the replay.
As Jelly ends up dying, Dove was able to come in here via the teleport. Keen going in super hard.
Yeah, just watch this. He's like, nope, I will not be denied.
Leroy Jenkins.
Time's up. Let's do this. Leroy! That's really what he did. Like,
at least he's got chicken. Valdez,
yeah,
all right?
Yeah, he does. I wonder if Crocs like chicken. We should probably ask Atlas. That's probably something that a resident Australian would know. You know what I mean?
That is, you know what? That is.
If the Crocs like chicken.
Yeah.
Atlas, I know you're watching. Go ahead and let me know if the Crocs like chicken. Then it'll all come together for our good friend Leroy Jenkins, if I had to put a Korean pun spin on it. Wow, they're really going hard in this one.
Whoa.
Getting on top of, well, it's not going to matter in the end, but it did look kind of funny. As down he will go, Mystic underestimated the Fate's Call.
And it's actually really insane. Leo, remember in game number 1, he was actually doing very well on that Callista as well. And so here he's getting very fed again. And we talked about inside of the draft that because there's so many melee champions essentially on Afreeca's side that have to jump onto him, the only real hope to bring him down is either Keen getting on top of him via a flash and then stunning him up, or it's going to end up being Mystic. But this Callista is starting to get to points where there's not going to be a real answer.
You have to respect the range that Callista Thresh has, especially if you're alone. I mean, if Blitzcrank is there to pull one of them off and do a little bit of his disruption, then maybe, but you cannot get greedy and try to clear that wave. You have to back away. So a bit of a misread there by Mystic. He gets punished, and you're absolutely right. Callista is popping off right now. 4-1. Already has QSS.
800 gold is the advantage right now for Afreeca. Once the ornaments start coming in, obviously, that's a lot of gold that isn't accounted for. And again, because Afreeca's team composition is so misaligned, things are just getting worse and worse. Sejuani is going to continuously keep becoming more valuable than the Elise. The Victor has so much value against Afreeca's team comp. It's not every day that Ornn finds himself on the losing end of scaling.
It happens every once in a while. You know, one champion, one man can be perfect, but it doesn't mean that all of his friends have to be. As Ornn does have some losses. You're going to see the charge down here in the bottom lane, setting up for a pull. That's not going to land. As really, it's just SANDBOX on defense. after that early game where top and jungle kind of got pushed way far behind. They know they have that pocket Kalista for the late game. They're going to have the Victor that does farm up. So on them, it's just sit back and try to survive for now. Don't get hooked by Blitzcrank. Generally not a good idea. Unless you're Gorilla, I suppose. Did see that happen in game 1.
And we got 50 seconds until Ocean Dragon comes up. Afreeca really do need to get it, and they need to prioritize it as the most important thing in the game. Victor probably only going to be able to recall, or actually just came off recall. And so has stopwatch available for this upcoming fight. Keen is going to get another turret. Unsure if Fly is going to be able to ding 13 before this dragon fight. Only has the 2 ornaments. Teleport now coming in, though.
Yeah, he's looking for some action. A bit ornery. He's coming in from the side. See just a little bit of chip damage. Leo not overextending. Says, I can do this for just a bit. I have a Thresh behind me. TP now from Renekton. And that's way down here on the bottom right. At the end of the day, SANDBOX very safe. Collected, they're spread out. Collected but spread out, I suppose I should say.
Afreeca, they're trying to just clear out vision. Now, this is
one
one way to
nice
lose.
Hook, though. That's going to interrupt him, but Keen in the back line. Will that be enough AoE as Orange Horn is going to have a bit of luck in there. Nice knockup by Gorilla, but the bullet time does so much. They get a follow-up knockup, but still Afreeca, if they're fighting in there and they can get any kind of fight to happen, they're going to have a good time.
They managed to pull the aggro off of Keen. And yeah, that was a beautiful angle for the bullet time, as Summit wasn't able to find a suplex. Also had his flash available. So we'll take a look at this one more time. So, Summit looks like he was just going to go for the suplex, but ends up getting pulled and deleted right away. But Fly, in a different world, could have easily just been brought right into SANDBOX. And then the concave that SANDBOX could have had around red would have made the bullet time significantly less effective. From that angle, would have been a very nice area for Victor to also just control things.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a messy fight, just the way that started.
I mean, Ocean Dragon was picked up by Afreeca. Another thing that's been picked up this game is into the Quicksilver Sash and double Merc Treads, as well as the Stone Plate on Thresh, Oblivion Orb on Spirit. So
good.
Just waiting for another photograph.
Yeah, you're just lining it up. The Blasting Wand isn't too far away. It's only 850 gold. But the total, as we all know, is 1,400 for Morelos. We'll get there soon. It's not too far.
Yeah, not too far away.
Don't you worry. If they can have more engages like that, I can see Afreeca having a good time. It almost doesn't even feel like the Elise Renekton, although it did help them get ahead because of the way that it did play out in the early game. But the Ornn MF, that combo in itself, is such
very
a good,
strong. Yeah,
it's such a good 1-2. And SANDBOX has given it to them twice. And that might be the saving grace of this game at the end of the day for Afreeca.
And, I mean, all that Afreeca really needs to do is make it to the Ocean Drake. If they get that, I think that there's no way they can end up losing a team fight. And so, they are going to, I think, just probably play defensively, play ping pong on the side lanes, wait for ornaments to start coming in. Fly does have level 13, probably going to give the Obsidian Cleaver. That really just sums up a lot.
He was looking for chicken. Because, yes, apparently...
Like mad cow disease. It's just actually affected Renekton.
Yeah. He just, he's really hungry. He's got to go in there. He just can't help himself.
All right, well.
He did pick up the GA. I like that item. It's going to offer him a second chance at some of these team fights and be much more annoying to kill and pick off.
And we're just really waiting to see if anyone mispositions in coming moments. Ornn still hasn't given an upgrade yet. Doesn't look like he's pathing towards Keen either. Mystic gonna have the Infinity Edge actually completed soon, so that's gonna be a very big upgrade. Minute and a half until Ocean Dragon. Luden's Echo gonna be the pickup by Dove. And this game's taking a little. We're in the lull state right now.
Yeah, there's a lull state.
In the lull state.
I feel like it goes without saying now. I feel like our
We
viewers.
have a minute and a half until a fight breaks out, and so I'm just wondering what you would like to talk about.
Oh well, I got my braces off.
You did.
We didn't mention this actually. I did. I had them for 2 years and 2 months.
Okay.
It's a long time.
This is a long time.
And I'm glad I got it done. I feel like it's much easier to cast now. I had screws in my mouth as well that would always poke my tongue.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was hard. It was grueling. It was a very long, drawn-out process, and I'm glad finally that I got them off.
Everyone is happy for you.
It was a hard decision too, because being on camera so much, but I had crooked teeth, so I was like, do I go on with braces or crooked teeth? And then eventually I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet here.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
And I finally made it through. We're out on the other side, and now I just have 5 years of wearing a retainer.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a long time, but it's just a retainer. Anything's better than having it in your mouth all the time. So just wanted to, I didn't mention it on Twitter or anything like that, so just wanted to have that moment to say that we're done with that. I have like little mini bars behind my teeth just to keep them straight at all times, but it's become so much easier to cast. And now that we've used that minute and a half, the exact minute and a half, looks like we're ready to hop into another team fight here, a Summit. Ooh.
And now all that Afreeca really needs to do here is just try to go for some sort of a burst. I mean, Keen could probably go over the wall and try to start it, although now they're going to know. With that ward, Mystic flashing!
Yeah.
Honestly, he's been having a bit of an off day in terms of positioning.
Yeah, I mean, his mechanics, okay, to get the Sejuani, and it doesn't matter how tanky you are, you will go down. As he forces a flash at a Gorilla, they weren't even engaging there.
They can't
to be
engage
honest.
from that distance.
Yeah, they got a massive jungle wall in the way.
And now Mystic and Spirit, they're just going to get the Ocean.
So they come into the mid lane, they're really trying to stop the push. Nice bullet time onto Summit. He's forced to flash. So many flashes blown in this fight. Just everybody on both sides. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the hook into Ocean Soul.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff blown, but, Baron's alive, but
Honestly, Jelly, he's been doing very, very good tonight. He's been the one consistent.
Yeah, his Blitzcrank is good.
Yeah. And he finds it right here, and you have to wonder why on Fleek is approaching the way that he is, because they have a ward on Ocean Drain. So, you know that the opponents aren't there, you can easily use deductive reasoning to know that they're in one of the 3 brushes.
And that there's a high chance, if you didn't scan the area, that there are going to be wards, and you can't just walk up to the brush. So, at the end of the day, maybe he thought he was tanky enough. He's like, oh, if I get hooked, just like the last time when Thresh got hooked and was able to proc Aftershock. But this time was different because it was all 5 members grouped up and ready to burst one guy. It was much better communicated, rather than you remember game 1 where Jelly pulled the Thresh into the brush and it was only him and Mystic. Mystic running from mid, and the other 3 were like down the river. So, suppose he thought that he could take advantage of that as the tanky Sejuani, but not tanky enough. Not just yet.
And so, SANDBOX, at this point, they are so far behind. Ornaments coming in, Molten Edge completed, Fly probably going to ding. Well, actually, Fly can upgrade one more item, so he can already upgrade the Obsidian Cleaver. As Spirit has a stopwatch. I imagine that he'll go Zanya's next. But he's actually down in XP, as weird as that is, to the Sejuani. And with all the magic resistance on the side of SANDBOX, that Oblivion Orb not really doing a whole lot. So this Elise is effectively one item, for the most part.
Keen hanging out here on the right side, as they're not really being active with the Ocean Soul. There's no timer on it, so there isn't a huge rush unless you're going up against major scaling. They do have to deal with Victor and the Callista, but it looks like they just want to go for more hooks. As this time it is going to be the set. Can they lock down that Lantern? The answer is going to be no. So many of them had control wards, but nobody placed it down there. Was not able to deny it on time. Tries
Jelly.
for another one.
Yeah, almost managed to hit again. And now they should just be able to actually start the Baron. They can't lose a straight-up team fight. Ocean Soul, I really think, I talked about this, I believe, with Atlas on broadcast earlier this week. It is by far the strongest Soul lane, except in very unique situations.
Jelly's gonna miss here. Gorilla trying to engage, but he's all alone as Keen is just flanking from behind. He gets on top of him and one-shots Dove as he got knocked up by the Ornhorn. You'd have to imagine the flash forward, and that's just gonna make this Baron even easier. They're not gonna elect to push. They say, let's take the objective and regroup after taking out 3 members of the enemy team.
Yeah. Jelly positioning to see if anyone comes over and tries to do anything, but I think that's all that she wrote, Valdez, for SANDBOX. This is going to extend their losing streak.
That it will. They will move on to 1-4. Afreeca will gain another win on top of their belt, but take another look here. It was a nice turn. Somebody kind of had to face check. Gorilla, unfortunately, a little bit too ham as the TP was coming in. Nice TP by Keen.
Yeah.
One combos Victor.
Gets onto Victor, able to just end up killing him. And Summit, I mean, he dies midair.
Let's concentrate, kids. Or it's more like boys.
Yeah.
You know.
Guys.
Yeah.
Folks.
Folks?
Folks.
Oh. Alamons?
What?
I mean, you said folks, so I thought you would say almonds as well. You know almonds?
No. What is that?
Oh, okay. What, you don't know what an almond is?
Valdez, don't make me go down this road. Okay. All right.
Well,
Afreeca's gonna go down this road.
yeah,
This is called the middle lane, middle avenue.
It's a one-way journey to Nexus Street. Nobody's considering going up against Keen. He's level 16, the highest in the game, and he is a monster.
17 now, actually.
Yeah.
You know?
Another hook, because why not? Jelly's just really trying to build up those Pog points. He's trying to get enough people to say Pog so that he earns the Pog.
I think that he gets it, actually, this game. If Keen or Spirit get it after playing roulette up in top lane, I'm going to feel a little bit bad. Fly, he did pick Ornn, but I feel like Jelly has just been so much more impactful at clutch moments.
Yeah. You know what would be an interesting stat is how many times players have won Pog on Ornn. Nice pitch ball.
Rob.
Oh, that was really nice. Is it going to matter in the end? Suplex, not going to do all that much. Mystic, totally safe. A 2-man knockup as Keen is a monster as well.
Ocean Soul is a really cool objective.
Ocean Man.
Just look at it.
Take me by the hand, lead me to the land. Can we get the Penta? There it is, the Penta kill for Mystic at the end of it all. The Ocean Soul able to drive the nail home into that coffin, and that will be the end of it. Afreeca pick up game number 3, and we'll move on to the victory stage where we will hear from them on that stage. Well played, had a bit of a stumble in Game 2, but they were able to come out strong. A couple of great mechanical performances up at the top side in jungle. They were able to outplay their opponents there. They got the ball rolling for Keen, and they were able to end the game soon enough to where the lack of scaling with those two champions didn't matter. Afreeca looking pretty happy, pretty satisfied after those couple of wins.
Well, Spirit ends up picking up 2 wins here today. As SANDBOX, their loss streak continues. Their way of drafting is pretty one-dimensional. And the draft is not why they lost this game. This game was them falling apart at certain stages, trying to greed for too much, ended up getting punished for it at several points. And honestly, I mean, Afreeca just played a cleaner game here in game number 3. I think that Leo, had SANDBOX been able to win game 1 or 2, I think Leo probably would have been MVP in both. I think that he had really good performances here tonight.
Yeah, he did.
I gave my MVP to Jelly.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm a little bit jelly.
I hope that we're the only two that did it.
I think
because
there's a good
you
chance.
know
I think there's
that
a really good
the
chance.
pentakill amplified it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like Mystic, does he get the player of the game because he got a
What
pentakill?
would chat have voted?
Mystic. I think they probably would have voted for the pentakill. Knowing Twitch chat, they'd just be like, Pog, Pog, Pog. Pog you.
Keck W.
Keck W. All these fun things. And
You
then,
can't forget
and then,
that one.
And they would go like this on Mystic.
Yeah.
They're like, he was the best.
Okay.
He got all the damages. And he did. So well done by
All right.
Mystic. Yeah. Can't fault him for that.
I like that.
Yeah. Flawless logic.
It is. It
As,
really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Jelly was really the one that got things started. I feel like once they finally buckled down and they're like, hey, remember, we have a Blitzcrank. Let's just wait in brushes and deny vision and pull people.
Great.
And they're like, oh, okay. And they had a lot of disruption on top of that. I mean, they had Ornn, Elise, Renekton,
had a
not
lot
to
going
mention
on.
Blitzcrank. So if they ever caught anyone, they were dead. Doesn't matter how tanky you
And
were.
this was Keen. Well, I mean, this was Summit just forcing a trade for no reason. And then Ornn Ultimate comes in. Summit tries to Superflex to live. Not going to be able to. And that is the 7-10 right there. Has also managed to hit the Sejuani. Look at Fly. This is actually like in the movies when one of the giants noticed something trying to like pester it.
Yeah.
And it turns around. It's like B5 Fofum as manages to get the Mad Light. And this is where Afreeca, they tried to pass the ball back. They said, no, you would.
Yeah. Ornn today, 2-1. For what it's worth.
Actually backing up against the MF who was completely out of mana. Dub could have kept going onto Misfortune there. So that was very peculiar. This Q would end up coming back up. Definitely a bit strange. I think he would win in that situation unless I'm missing something.
Bopped.
And Keen, I mean, Ocean Soul is just so disgustingly amazing as an objective. I think second only to Elder Dragon.
Absolutely.
In the mass majority of cases. Obviously, Infernal is a lot better when the opponent can't hit you. And so that's nice for poke comps. Infernal for poke comps is really... But even then, with poke comps with Ocean,
it's not like
they can't even turn on you.
Yeah, it's
Infernal,
not like
they
you're
can
never going
still
to take
turn.
damage.
Yeah.
You're still going to take some damage. And, yeah. So, Ocean does seem to be the best, the more we're taking a look at it. And, yeah, so Mystic did the most damage, so player of the game goes to Mystic.
Well, I have faith
Mystic.
that it's going to be Jelly. You can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without jelly.
Why is there no player named Butter? Because then it would be peanut butter jelly.
And
right?
then have them all on the same team?
All on the same team, yeah.
That'd be amazing branding. You reach out to like...
Yeah, and then you have a guy named Sandwich, and then there's a guy named End. Yeah,
no,
peanut
you
butter
have,
and
then
jelly
you have,
sandwich.
Then you have the coach. This is when Teddy steps down from being a player, like 12 years
Yeah,
from now or something.
okay.
He becomes a coach.
Yeah.
So you have the coaches, Teddy and Skippy.
Ooh, that's good. We're on to something here. I mean,
We just have the peanut butter team.
Yeah.
You have bread on top,
bread.
and then you have what's the name of the bottom piece of bread? There's a name for that. I
Bread.
think. No, there's another one.
Bottom bread.
And then you have peanut in the jungle, butter in mid lane, and then you have jelly roll swap to AD carry. It's a perfect sandwich.
Perfect sandwich. And they can play Orn comps all day
Yeah.
long and sandwich people. As Jelly does end up picking up player of the game, this is well deserved. I don't know if you guys are going to get a look at how many votes ended up coming out. We actually do have the number. I assume I'm allowed to say it, but 5 out of 12 voted for Jelly, and
Yeah.
he ended up winning. It ended up being the forecasters and an observer. So shout out to that observer that
Yeah, he was the swinger.
understood. He's like, I think, the casters really know what they're talking about, and I'm going to vote with them.
I like
And he
that.
did, yeah. He could sense it, he could feel
I'm
it.
actually
he voted for Jelly.
curious if anyone knows about the votes before they make their vote.
No, that wouldn't be fair.
That wouldn't be fair at
That
all.
would not be fair.
But
But what is fair is Ji-sun translating the interview.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season with the interview translation, and let's hear from Fly and Jelly from Afreeca Freecs. Fly, it's been a while. How are you feeling right now? Today, I didn't expect that I would get this POG, so feel a bit flustered, but getting this win, because I was really not confident going into today's match, so I'm really happy that I got this. But you are doing a great job on the front line. So, are you satisfied with your performance today? I was so mad. Why? Because in game number 2, I made some mistakes. So I was so mad. So I was like walking forward, like, just hit me. And Jelly, your first POG. Congratulations. How are you feeling? Me as well. My performance was also really bad than usual, so I didn't expect this. So rather than being happy, I'm also really flustered, I guess Afreeca players are being really thoughtful all about today's match. So Fly, your Ornn in game number 1 was doing so many works. And a lot of people are saying that Ornn is so powerful in 10.3 patch. Do you think this is a top tier champion? Well, the win rate, tells everything. The win rate is like absurd, So that's a very smart answer coming out of Fly. So we have this highlight with Fly's Ornn performance. So you ulted actually the downside. Why was that? Because I wanted to kill Set. The commentator also said maybe you could aim for the 3 people knockup on the above. So why did you go for just 1-man knockup on Set? Because when I played Azir, Summit just killed me by pulling me in. So maybe my personal emotion was reflected. But that was game number 1 though. I mean after. I mean was that game number 1? I don't know. Anyways, that was a really nice decision from you, Fly, and you got the win. So let's just skip game number 2 and game number 3. Jelly, you got the POG. I mean, Fly was also competing it, but Fly managed to get 1 less points. So didn't Mystic actually want the POG, getting that Panta? Nothing special. He didn't mention about it. I mean, he was just autoing and just like getting 1 Penta doesn't guarantee you a POG, I guess that's why you got the POG, Jelly. So Blitzcrank was the guarantee victory pick today. So what's your thought or Afreeca thought on Blitzcrank? Was that because of you, Jelly, because you're so good at it, or was it for the comp? I don't know. Just our team made him do it. But I mean, you were told to play it, but you did a great job. Yeah, they told me to do it, and I guess I did a great job. This interview is so hard. Please, please, Afreeca players, help me. So, I mean, both teams actually stick to the original picks, except changing top and jungle picks in each team. Going for pick 1, 2, 3, like SANDBOX was sticking to their own play. Yeah, like we are not wrong. So we also wanted to tell them we are not wrong as well. Maybe a little bit of a mind game, you know, and being a little bit pride of our own draft. Because they were the first one trying to go with the original pick, so we wanted to go the same way as well. Fly, how are you gonna go for your upcoming series? Our performance was so bad compared to before, so we will work on it and we will come back with improved performance. And Jelly? So, any words on POG? What's your goal for the split? Well, it will be really great if I can get more POGs with great performance, but I mean, just improving my performance is the biggest goal. I don't really care much about the POG. So this will be the end of the interview with Fly, Jelly from Afreeca Freecs, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you!
Thank you, Ji-sun, for the wonderful translation once again. Fly seemed pretty tilted, although they did win. And Jelly just seemed happy to be up there.
Yeah.
So good to hear from the both of them. Was a bit of a longer serease as we did go to 3 games. We do have a banger of a game 2, or match 2, I should say. Genji versus Dragon X. I wanted to say Damwon for some reason, but it's Dragon X.
We've almost lost him.
I know. Well, I know your sanity's already lost, so we have to have one sane person on the desk for now, at least. And it's going to be a massive game. Like, these two teams are 2 of the top. I know LS is critical of some of the teams, but these teams, the 3 teams at the top, these 2 alongside of T1, have proven to be echelon above. You know, they're a tier above for now.
Dragon X really looked like they just fell apart in their last series, and so it'll be nice to see how they try to bounce back here today. And then Genji, I mean, it's really Dragon X, Genji, and T1 are looking very good in recent weeks. As Afreeca, they pick up another win here today. They join Genji, T1, and Dragon X. They are now at 4-1, tied in points as well. As SANDBOX, they fall to 1-4, and honestly, APK getting that win yesterday, they again, you have to remember that they came so close to winning some other games as well that it's really hard to actually judge like the bottom 3, bottom 4 teams right now. Yeah,
you and I kind of had a feeling that APK was going to win that series
I thought
KT.
They would 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 was impressive to see out of them. Although I know the games weren't
one of our few 2-0s in LCK, which is very surprising. But we're going to resume at 8:30 with the Dragon X versus Genji match.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be all that much time, about a half hour, for you guys to go get a snack, take a nap. Well, don't take a nap. You might go to sleep if you're in East Coast America. I know it's pretty early over there. But now's the time to take a little break and prepare yourself for the awesomeness that will be the next series. Dragon X up against Gen Z after this 30-minute break.